What if I told you that the first most valuable French car ever publicly sold wasn't a Bugatti, but a teardrop-shaped sculpture that once raced across the Mojave Desert? Ladies and gentlemen, and my friend Timmy, let me tell you a story about a car so breathtaking it made my neighbor Bob drop his alien-repelling tinfoil hat and say, well, maybe earthlings do have taste after all. We're talking curves smoother than my uncle's third divorce and a price tag that could fund a small European monarchy. It's the 1937 Talbot-Lago T150-C-SS Teardrop Coupé, the car that looked like it was carved by wind gods on vacation in Paris. Before we dive into this aerodynamic baguette of beauty, hit that subscribe button like you're shifting a Wilson pre-selector gearbox with no time to spare. Let's dive in. Picture it, 1935. Antonio Lago, a Venetian engineer with more ambition than patience, takes over Talbot and starts cooking up a race-ready beast. Then he teams up with Joseph Figoni and Ovidio Falaschi, the design duo responsible for turning every fender into a piece of aerodynamic poetry. This wasn't just a car. This was a runway model with wheels, with a 4-liter straight-six engine, 3 Zenith Stromberg carburetors, and 140 horsepower. At 4,100 revolutions per minute, this thing didn't just purr. It recited poetry in French while doing 125 miles per hour, 201 kilometers per hour. And don't get me started on the Wilson pre-selector 4-speed gearbox, which is like shifting gears with telepathy. Or witchcraft, same thing. The suspension was ahead of its time, independent up front with wishbones and a transverse semi-elliptical leaf spring, while the rear sat on a live axle with more leaf springs than Timmy's lawn during fall. And speaking of weight, this beauty tipped the scales at just around 2,625 pounds and 1,190 kilograms. But let's not kid ourselves. The star of the show is that Figoni et Falaschi coachwork. It's called the Teardrop because that's exactly what rolls down your cheek when you realize you'll never own one. The all-alloy body, hidden headlights and flowing lines weren't just aerodynamic, they were emotional damage in vehicle form. Timmy once tried to sketch this car, ended up drawing what looked like a sad potato with wheels, and called it abstract. Bless his heart. Now only 13 to 16 of these teardrop bodies were ever made between 1937 and 1939. Each one was hand-built, bespoke, and basically kissed by angels. Chassis 90,107 is the crown jewel, the only original Model New York with fully enclosed front fenders still in existence. This car won the Prix d'Excellence in Paris in 1938, which I believe is French for, "Damn, that's a nice ride." It was owned by legendary racer Tommy Lee, no, not the drummer, the other wild guy, who raced it on the dry lake beds of Mojave. Then it disappeared into collector Lindley Locke's stash like a secret wine bottle behind your uncle's bookshelf, only to be reborn years later by the Nethercutt collection and win Best in Class at Pebble Beach and Best of Show at Amelia Island. And yes, if you bring this car to a show, you win. Even if the show is your neighbor's driveway barbecue. So what does a slice of rolling sculpture like this go for? I hope you're sitting down or standing next to someone's wallet. Because in 2022, at the Gooding & Company auction on Amelia Island, this piece of pre-war perfection sold for $13,425,000. That's right, $13 million, or about 12 million euros, if you're crying in baguette. Now look, you might not be able to buy one, unless your neighbor is secretly an oil prince. But what you can do is appreciate the fact that this car represents the pinnacle of human imagination, engineering, and, well, fabulous excess. And hey, if you laughed, learned, or just want to keep up with Timmy's next bad idea, become a Cool Ideas channel sponsor. And remember, friends, in a world full of bland SUVs and fake exhaust pipes, be the teardrop, or at least hang out with the guy who owns one. Catch you next time.